This is Travis Wingoodsville. Just got back from the run, and despite saying that I was going to do the Real Church History series, I keep getting ideas for other videos. This one I needed to get out there because there's just so much misinformation and disinformation that's just permeated our society, and all of that is from the Russians. They started it. They infiltrated America and have spread the propaganda campaign to protect the church, not just to protect Trump. And so there's a lot of critics who are believing in just outright lies about the church. But because it's also critical of the church, the critics of the church believe what is said, and it's difficult to know the truth now, because everybody's believing whatever they want to believe. And that's what's happened over the decades with religion trying to emerge as untouchable. The religious folk in America were trying to say, you have to have faith, keep believing. And then it changed into, well, that's your opinion. And then that opinion needed positive affirmation. And then people agreed to disagree, and now we have your truth. It's all the same con job. It's worded differently. And nobody's waking up, despite the woke period coming and going now. And there's also be open-minded. That's another one that throws into this category. Open-minded. And it's all BS. Because Medicare uses it in their commercial for elderly when they have their annual opportunity to resubmit for a different program. They have the one lady who is, I think she's the one at the fence, and thus on the fence as to which truth I should follow. And she's saying, be open-minded. There's nothing to be open-minded about, because the option of, hey, I don't want Medicaid, I want something better that I don't have to pay for. You know, if you're not familiar with Medicaid, they advertise that, yeah, the elderly still have to pay despite having free health care by the government. And so it's all a trap, a psychological trap that's conditioning the masses and herding us like sheep. All we like sheep. And so they're mocking religion, is what the leaders are doing, of business, government, and religion. And like I told you, for the last several days I've been trying to explain the concept of a dichotomous categorization and a non-dichotomous categorization that were developed into the practice by Mormon Stanley Smith Stevens. The concept has long been known, because the Art of War talks about divide and conquer. The dividing is sending in spies to infiltrate the enemy community and get the people to believe that the spies are one of the people, and they end up trusting the spy, and then the spy just slowly creeps in misinformation and disinformation until the enemy is divided as to what to believe in. That's dichotomy. With multiple tribal party groups, depending on whether it's government, religion, or economy, that's non-dichotomous. That's spectrum disorders for psychiatry. And so if you remember Facebook and Cambridge Analytica that was stealing the data from Facebook, although Facebook sort of sold it to them, and then Cambridge Analytica sold our personal information to Russia, and then Russia then bought advertisements on Facebook to mis and disinform the people based upon the information we put in to the app questions, for example. And the app questions would say, what kind of Disney princess are you? Find out, click here. And so you'd take the survey, and the survey would ask you unrelated to Disney topics that were spectrum based. They were placing you in a spectrum category based upon your answers. And having taken a couple of those myself, I recognized that I couldn't answer all the questions honestly because they weren't me. There were other answers that were not available for me to choose from that I wanted to choose. And that's the problem with categorization of people. You can't do it. It's not scientific. That's why psychiatry is a pseudoscience. But they've realized that it's excellent for brainwashing people. And that's how they do it. They force you into a line of thinking, originally non-dichotomous first, and then if they recognize that that you fit into one of the dichotomies, then they go deeper to further control you with spectrums within that dichotomous category. And it's a terrorist threat, literally. That's what you use in war. And we're under attack. We've been under attack, more so since 2016, with social media granting third parties to obtain our data. So, just to warn you guys, just because somebody says something that you like to hear doesn't make it truth. You have to see the facts, and they can't be manufactured facts, because now we've got deep fake, we've had the Photoshop, and people can fake documents now, and so understanding truth is even more difficult the more we go along. And if you've watched my recent videos, you see that I'm getting on John's case because he trusts the critical information about the church that supports his beliefs. And I'm sorry, John, you got brainwashed. You fell for it. And then another lady that also is commenting to me, she keeps pushing to try to get the sacrifices in the basement of the temple promoted on my channel. And I'm sorry, there's nothing to support it. Nothing. Just because you have a first-hand witness, as she's claiming that's what goes on down in the basement, doesn't make her truthful. Remember the commandment and the 10 Commandments? Thou shalt not bear false witness. People lie. The church lies. We know this. And the church confessed to lying in the gospel topic essays. So don't just trust the church when they confess to lying. And that's the frustrating part, and why I've been forced into doing the real church history, is because of this propaganda attack on America. And we need to defend against it. And so it's important to understand how to identify fact from opinion, identifying what actual evidence is, and how to verify evidence, and then using sound argument rather than just fallaciously making claims. And so, please, people, please, we're destroying America. That's what they want. That's the whole intention of doing this, is so that we contend against each other to our destruction, to get us to fight. And if we can't fight, then they'll just shut off our internet, expel everybody from America, deport everybody, and murder, because we've gotten so conflicted as to what to believe in. So please, don't fall for it. Don't fall for the trap of allowing beliefs to dominate fact. So that's all for this video.